How's it? What do you know? Chest and triceps, well, not really, just chest, absolute monster. That's what I feel like. If you like any sort of pressing movement, the workout you're about to experience would be an absolute wet dream for you. Now, do you know what would be a wet dream for me? Drugs. No, I'm joking. I don't support that. But you know what would be sick? Would be living inside of a video game, right? Now, you know, I know you're probably thinking of, like, you know, the dude who chills on the couch, smells of Dorito dust, and drinks Mountain Dew instead of water. Now, that's not what I mean by living inside of a video game. When I say living inside of a video game, I mean more so like, imagine it was your real life. Like, imagine how flipping crazy it would be if your life was like Harry Potter, okay? That's an example, because obviously we can do movies. You know, you got Harry Potter, you got, what else? Tron would be so sick to live in. What else would be gangster? Oh, obviously you can go into the animes, you can go One Piece, Naruto, you know, all those gang ones. Obviously, Harry Potter, then it like takes you into the whole dilemmas of, well, are you gonna like live out the good life or the bad life? Are you gonna be a bit of a, you know, Hufflepuff, you know, a little fat nerd giggling around? You're gonna be, you know, Gryffindor, who's honestly just a bit of a wanker. They so like goody two-shoesy. Or you're gonna be a Slytherin, yes, and just like go around Avada Kedavraing everyone, just spell, dead, gutted, you know, game over. Like that's the predicament I find myself in, because 99% of the time I am almost 100% sure I would choose the wrong path. I would 100% get the worst possible wand, curse people with the worst possible curses, and then proceed to run away and live a life on the edge, which would be so gangster. But then if you think about it, like, logically, imagine this is like your real life. What are the odds you're actually gonna do this? Like, in my life, I haven't become a gangster, so what are the, like, I'm just some, like, you know, some gent talking to a camera. So in the wizarding world, I'd probably, you know, I don't know if they have cameras, so I'd probably just be talking to like an owl, which is honestly a bit more concerning. That like means I'm partially insane, or at least, you know, slightly delusional, which could be said about this as well, you know. All right, so Harry Potter, obviously, I think that's an obvious choice everyone would go for, is, you know, living in the Harry Potter world. You know, I was speaking about last time the whole like Dark Souls, and then someone mentioned Elden Rings and the new DLC, and you know, I've seen some videos on it, and it seems like absolute flipping chaos. People just seem to be raging, dying, and not enjoying life. So I don't think there'd be very many people who would choose to live in the realm of Elden Rings. However, if you were to live in the realm of Elden Rings, that means you would quite literally have to pass it your very first try. Otherwise, you know, it could push, you know, game over, you're dead. See, that's why I like the idea of Harry Potter, because, you know, you break a bone, wizardy woo, your arm is fixed. You know, you want some money, go loot some from some fella. You know, it's like happy days. It never seems like anything quite goes terribly wrong in Harry Potter like it does in the wonderful wizarding world of Elden Rings, which is not wizarding at all. It honestly just seems a bit brutal and messed up, which I don't think is great. But then think about it if you were to live in like an anime world. Now, I know, a bit nerdy, but bear with me. The amount of like graphical and visual pleasure you get from those sorts of programs, because it's animated, of course, so you can just let your mind go wild, it's ridiculous. Imagine you decided to be a samurai, all right? You know, because that's just a natural path you'll take if you're in an anime. Naturally, when you're born, you get given the option: samurai, magician, or you know, some form of genius with other weird powers. Now, naturally, most people are going to choose the samurai option, because, you know, all our coolest and greatest people are samurais. and they obviously contribute the most to our economy and to the world. And you get a cool shiny sword, which is probably the main reason, to be completely honest. And if you're saying it's not the main reason, you know, check yourself, you're probably lying. Now, imagine, obviously, you're gonna have your long backstory where you're gonna grow up, you know, sheesh, tough times in the snow, chipping away at living boulders with your bare hands, until one day you're strong enough to wield the mighty sword, and then you go on an amazing adventure. Now, that would be absolutely gas, absolutely gas. So that's kind of the dilemma I find myself in. Am I going movies, which is all of that, or now we can go into the video game side, which I was talking about earlier? Because how would that work? Would you have lives? Because obviously if you have multiple lives, you'd naturally go for the video game side, because who wouldn't want multiple lives? That means you can test multiple things. You know, more than likely you're gonna be a little bit devious and, you know, rob a bank like in GTA, or do something a bit crazy, because, you know, you can reset your life, you know, starting over. And that's what worries me. What if, hear me out, if you could reset your life, right, every time you died, and you just wouldn't know about it, you just live the life you're living, would that mean you're just living the life you're living now? Now, I know, it could be quite a complex little little nugget of information I've dropped on you there, so don't think about it too hard, because really what it can mean is you're just in an infinite loop of playing a video game, and at the moment you're just living the you know, this version of it. Like, what's that video game that they play in Rick and Morty? It's called like Earl or Stan or something, and it's pretty much an arcade machine. They put their face in it, they're completely blank, and then they just living a completely different life and do whatever they want until they die, and then boom, back into reality. Okay, pretty rad, I know. And obviously I really hope that's not what's happening right now, because then that would mean everything's meaningless, which it clearly isn't, because, you know, I just lifted some heavy ass weight, so things are definitely meaningful. And as I heard on the internet by a very knowledgeable man, is you should strive to have the mental state of a dumbbell, because dumbbells are versatile, you know. You can use them for presses, you can use them for flies, you can use them for squats even. You know, it's just a little bit of everything. So why not be a dumbbell? Don't be boring, be a dumbbell. That should be the end of this this thought. Now, going back to the video games or movies, I think it's kind of a clear-cut decision, for me at least, because let's be honest, video games are just more fun, you know, and naturally I feel like you're gonna have more fun in a video game than you would watching a movie. Hence, if your life was a video game, it would be more fun than if your life was a movie. Now, also, like, it's kind of cheating, I guess, but if you also think about it, you know, most movies become video games if they're good enough. So you're not really like having to choose if you put your mind to it and you think about it like that. So really, I've just hacked the system. So ultimately, I'm just a genius. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Hopefully it was entertaining. I don't think it was very enlightening, nor did I share upon you any particularly important knowledge. However, I hope it was entertaining. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.